mind that needs to first of all be rebranded.
Idris said he's going to be putting Nigerian labor, Nigeria content and materials first.
If you say Nigeria first and it is just us down here that, you know, are pushing that agenda, it's going to be a big struggle.
Do you think Nigerian firms, Nigerian organizations should start looking at getting their staff involved in this market or buying to keep for their staff?
Within this side, let's also learn citizen diplomacy. See something. This is Souq Business Landscape.
A very good afternoon to you and welcome to Souqnews Television. We are reaching you live from our studios in Lagos. I am Oyepriye Krumale. This is Souq Business Landscape, and we bring you all the stories, 4 major stories that are making the headlines. And these stories are high confidential stories. Well, not confidential in the sense that they are not supposed to be in the public. Confidential in the sense that they touch every nook and every cranny of society. They touch your nerve. And the fabric of society lies on this story, both in domestic and in the foreign climes. But before we jump into the business of the day, let me introduce you to the team with which we'll be having this conversation. Hello, the darkest of them all.
I will give you a better comeback. I'm so glad to be here. Welcome to Souq Business Landscape.
Yes, and to the man at the extreme left.
The man at the extreme left, the darkest of them all. It's all good. Good afternoon. If you are in our time zone, then good morning. If you're not in our time zone, good night if you're preparing to go to sleep in China. My name is Souq. Welcome to SBL.
Great. And we have, he's not new. You saw him this morning on Just Africa when we're talking about Africa and the culture. But I think this will be his first time appearing on set on Souq Business Landscape. He's Bayo Olaoye, veteran journalist. You're welcome to the program.
Yes, I'm glad to be here for my debut.
Okay. Now, we move on to the business of the day. But before then, let's still make you a little bit curious. We're going to break. When we return, we'll jump into the business. Stay with us.
Take Nigeria because it's the mind that needs to first of all be rebranded.
Idris said he's going to be putting Nigerian labor, Nigeria content and materials first.
If you say Nigeria first and it is just us down here that, you know, are pushing that agenda, it's going to be a big struggle.
Do you think Nigerian firms, Nigerian organizations should start looking at getting their staff involved in this market or buying to keep for their staff?
Within this side, let's also learn citizen diplomacy. See something. This is Souq Business Landscape.
The Three Wise Men. Iconic sculptures and statues adorn major metropolitan cities of the world. In Lagos, Nigeria, the statue of 3 men designed to depict the state's cultural heritage and to usher in visitors and tourists into the ever-accommodating center of excellence is no doubt an astounding work of art. Originally built under the administration of Colonel Raji Rasaki, designed by Bodu Shodende in 1991 and standing over 12 feet high, referred to as Agba Meta or Aro Meta, the 3 sculptured chiefs were placed along the Lagos-Ibadan toll gate to welcome people coming into Lagos State. The statue called the 3 Wise Men by many has become a major signature for the state. 3 white-capped chiefs clad in white wrappers, knotted across their shoulders and with clenched right fists are shown in the artwork. The images fascinate and create impressions in the minds of visitors coming into the state, captivating the attention of visitors who look with keen interest, pondering on the messages which the posture of the engraved images signifies. The 3 Wise Men has been relocated thrice from its original position at Ojodu Berger end of Lagos-Ibadan Expressway to Magodo area before its final relocation to its present site at Olowopopo Drive. The sculpture has suffered severe damages over the years and renovated. Bodun Shodende, through this sculpture, depicted the highest honor that can be afforded to anyone in the eco-greeting tradition. The three wise men, Arometa, Souq Enlightenment.
Known as the father of African literature, Chinua Achebe was born on the 16th of November 1930 in Ogidi, now Anambra State, eastern Nigeria. He was born to Isaiah Okafor Achebe, a teacher and an evangelist, and Janet Anenichi Ilegunam, a vegetable farmer. Achebe has reshaped the global understanding of African identity through the power of storytelling. Raised during the twilight of colonial rule, Achebe's education was steeped in both Igbo tradition and the Western values of post-colonial Christianity. As a student at the University of Ibadan, he became fiercely critical of how Africa was portrayed in Western literature. Achebe believed that Western literature often painted Africa as a dark and primitive continent, but he sought to tell the African people's lens. In 1958, Achebe's groundbreaking novel Things Fall Apart shattered colonial narratives through the tragic story of Okonkwo, an Igbo warrior. Achebe illuminated the complexities of African culture and the devastating effects of European colonization. Things Fall Apart became more than just a novel. It became a symbol of African resistance against the oppressive narratives of colonialism. Achebe was not just a writer. He was a passionate advocate for African self-determination.
Take Nigeria because it's the mind that needs to first of all be rebranded.
Idris said he's going to be putting Nigerian labor, Nigeria content and materials first.
If you say Nigeria first and it is just us down here that, you know, are pushing that agenda, it's going to be a big struggle.
Do you think Nigerian firms, Nigerian organizations should start looking at getting their staff involved in this market or buying to keep for their staff?
Within this side, let's also learn citizen diplomacy. See something. This is Souq Business Landscape.
Welcome once again to Souq Business Landscape. Now, 1 year after Supreme Court ruling, that's exactly 1 year, the Supreme Court ruled that Nigeria's 774 local government areas must receive their allocations directly from the Federation account. The federal government has failed to enforce the compliance, despite the opening individual accounts for the councils with the Central Bank of Nigeria. State governments still control over 4 trillion naira meant for grassroots development, defying the judgment that declared state-level interference unconstitutional. Data from the Federation Accounts Allocation Committee shows that local government received 4.5 trillion naira between July 2024 and June 2025, nearly 25% of the national revenue shared. Yet, reports across several states confirm that allocations are still routed through the Joint Accounts Committee. With appointed local government chairmen lacking financial control, legal experts and labor unions say that the refusal to implement the court's order weakens democratic governance and development at the local government level. First of all, let me come to Chooks. 1 year after the ruling, it's like we're still having the same old story. I'm not going to ask you whose fault is it or where we are getting it wrong. Where do you think we should head from here?
Where we should head from here?
Yes.
We head home. Home is
Where is home?
Now, home is where things are supposed to work. This particular administration came up and said, let's do things right. So what did they do? They went to, first they tried dialogue, then they went to the court. The local government themselves also tried going to court. But the administration supported and said, okay, we'll stand on your side. They went to court, went to Supreme Court. Supreme Court interpreted and said, yes, the local government allocation should go to the local government. CBN was part of that particular process. Then CBN came up and said, okay, good. If the money is coming to you, do some clarification. Show us your balanced books. Date it back. That was done. They went and opened our account. But at the end of the day, we still see political patronage, as Baba will call it. Political leaning coming to play. The question we should now start asking ourselves, dear executives, this was your plan in the first place. Why are you not seeing it through?
I think the problem, Chooks, seriously, our problem with democracy is the governors. The governors are our problems. Because the Supreme Court has ruled that this money should be dispersed. The government, some of the governors are still sitting tight because they are used to this carefree spending, this extravagant lifestyle.
But look at it from this other side. The money is coming from FARC.
Yes.
So why is FARC not directly sending it to the local government account? These are the questions we should start asking.
Would you call that bureaucracy, or would you say that President Tinubu himself has said that the money should be disbursed to the local government? That is the political will that the federal government should develop. And the government has said so.
Saying and doing.
Okay, but
you see that the governors will not, they behave like emperors and they don't obey rules. They have a security vote that is not audited, that is not accounted for. And they go on what I would call loud spending. You just spend money anyhow, regardless of what the needs of the people are. And it's happening everywhere. Even in this Lagos, it's happening here. What is LCDA? What is the meaning of LCDA? We're talking about local government, you're talking about local council development areas. That's a shortcut.
Okay, just a moment, please. Whilst we will continue to look at how who got what wrong, who got what right, let's assume, since this is coming to the front burner, we are tilting towards what's going to be working properly. The reason why I came to you, Chooks, and Olumide, you're going to call me, just give me a moment. I want us to look at the economic impact and how 4 trillion naira is here. Let's imagine that this 4 trillion naira goes straight to the local government, and these monies are straight in the pocket of local government. Do remember that local governments are equally saddled with the responsibility of grassroots development. The impact of that money on the local economy is what I want us to focus. Now, Chooks, please.
Now, if we look directly and critically at these issues, what we will see is who is close to me in my area is my councillor, because his house is not far from mine. The local government is where everybody has a stake. The state government is somewhere in the capital. The federal is somewhere in body, somewhere in Abuja. So what is close to the people is the local councils. And that is where bulk of our activity with government should be. From healthcare to education to name it, to agriculture, is local councils. So they should have their money. And if this money hits the local government and hits the local, the local economy,
directly.
Imagine the ripple effect it will have, be it on commerce, be it in training, be it in sports, be it in grassroots education, mobilizing for different projects that have to do with people as it pertains each local government or their cultures there. But no, some set of people over time have made it look like the money is us. Whoever is the local government chairman or is appointed by whoever they decide to obey.
It's elections. Election bring in local government.
Well, they call it election.
It's
until
election.
recently.
Like it's going to take place
until
tomorrow.
Recently, it was selection.
Now where's selection?
You said until
recently it was selection. Maybe after the local government election, we'll now see whether it's still selection.
I don't
or election. But now we had a case of caretaker committee for local committee for years. So right now we should be getting things right.
Okay.
And if the executive said, if the presidency and FARC said this money should go to local government, why is FARC disbursing to state accounts? These are the questions you should be asking.
Okay, so
is the rule of law.
Just a moment. I want you to maybe paint a picture or look at it from the local economy development? Because now we heard local government, I think their allocation to be about 21% or between 21 and 22% that is coming from the federation account. And that's a huge sum. Let's assume this money gets straight into the local economy. What kind of, what do you think the picture of development at the local government, the dimension is going to take?
It's enormous. It's enormous. I'll give you an example right here under our nose. We have a local Lagos Island East local government. We have Lagos Island West local government. Since the promulgation of that law, with the trickles that have gone into the Lagos East local government, I, as a person, have seen significant returns, significant improvement in infrastructure under the past 4 months. The local government chairman has been able to build a new secretariat, for goodness sake, a new local government secretariat. Tokumbo Street here has not been tarred or repaired for over 30 years. But the guy has suddenly turned the place into a double-lane road with street lights. That's the immediate impact.
Was that the intervention of the state government?
Yes, the state of local government. That's the work of the local government. I've not finished. Right now, I think he wants to build houses for local government workers that has not been there before. So that is a little glimpse I want to give you. Immediate, and it's right before us here. So I think that the local government chairman, the local government councils, they need this money. And I'm sure if he gets more money, there will be infrastructure development, there will be clinics, the primary schools will be equipped, there will be health clinics, there will be environmental sanitation, the drainages will be cleaned, he will employ more cleaners, and so on and so forth. Development will go on there.
Great.
So it's not as if there's nothing to do. The local government is the basis of our existence. And this gentleman or local government chairman should be encouraged and empowered and given their due share.
Great. Thank you very much. Olumide.
All right. Now,
same question.
Same question.
The translation of that to economic development, to commerce, because when we heard last week that the local government elections are going to commence tomorrow, it was tied significantly to issues about commerce, economy, local markets involvement, and how this election is very, very key to development at the hub of society.
Thank you very much. First of all, the local government is designed as a tier closest to the people. And once that is undermined, the local government become practically powerless. Now, so if, for instance, now funds meant for roads, education, healthcare, water, sanitation, if they don't get, now, there's a particular road, I've always mentioned it here, Mushin. If you go to Mushin, that Mushin road has been there for years. And I've asked different, is it the local government? Is it the state government? But imagine if the local government had funds, enough funds. I'm sure that road would have been. Now, I know of Ojuoyi, local council development area. The chairman has been doing a lot. That place, because I've gone for some of his outreach and all that. He has donated healthcare facilities to some medical centers and all that. Limited.
Even for the primary healthcare centers.
Yes, in that particular area. And I interviewed him and I asked him, is this sustainable? Is this, well, he said, because he's an outgoing council chairman, so he said, well, this is what he and his fellow other people came together to do, that if they get more funds, he even showed me a building, the council area there, a building as an uncompleted building. He said, but with the new local government autonomy, that building will be completed in a few months. So now imagine if he has more funds, he will be able to do more, but he's just doing in his own capacity. Now imagine if, now I'm sure you've been to Mushin before, you've seen how, I don't want to use the word dirty, but imagine, yes, Lagos State is transferring some marketplaces to other places. Now imagine if that is in the control of the local government, whereby you acquire a particular land, you develop that place, and lease it out to market people. You can dictate whatever fare, whatever you want to, fees you want to collect. But make sure that you take cognizance of the maintenance of that place.
Okay.
That is something that would actually develop that particular community, that particular local government.
Okay.
And that's just one of the ways that local government can be really effective.
Okay. Chooks, there's been, whilst we, including experts, they've talked extensively and endlessly about the advantages that accrue to local government with these funds are, divulged directly to those officers. Baba has spoken, you have spoken, and we all agree to that. That this allegation leveled against local government, that they lack the capacity to develop a fiscal plan for the year. And most of the times they do not have budgets, and their budget does not go through the rigorous process as it is the case in the House of Assembly and in the National in the National House of Representatives and the Senate, where the budget lacks those regulatory and legislative input to scrutinize the different civil service or ministries at the local level that will present a viable budget for such spending, is lacking. Just a moment, Bayola here. So, do you think that is an indictment against the local government, or they are guilty of this, and this is a gray area they need to straighten out?
Okay, the best way to kill a dog is to give it a bad name. So that is where we've been for ages. Since our foray into this democratic dispensation, local governments have been on the receiving end. Funds meant for local government ends with state government. Sometimes even the federal government themselves will hold it for a while before they release it. So both tiers of government have used them as bouncing balls. So that is why they will give them the bad name. Mind you, the same way the federal government gets its budget to the Senate for approval, the same way the state does, the local government also does the same. They have councillors, and the councillors, they meet. They are just like your mini Senate and your mini States Assembly. And they have every role within the local government councils.
Absolutely.
So for people to say that kind of thing, it's false. It's because you are holding on to what belongs to them. And so you will give every possible excuse not to get it across to them.
Okay.
Let's give you an example. In China, if you want to build, you don't go to state. You don't go to the federal. You go to the local government. So that is law. If you need land to build, no matter how big the estate is, it's the local council that will give you land. So you pay to the local council and not to the state. But this is what we have the opposite around here. So that is how local councils make money in China.
Okay.
Apart from allocations coming from the state.
Great. So, Bayolawi.
It is very sad.
Yes, just a moment. Now, you see, recently, the National Assembly and the Senate, because of the budget defense sessions they've been having with different ministries, departments, and agencies, they were even calling out the NNPCL. They were calling out different ministries, departments, and agencies to come and defend their budget, and they were posing questions of how the money for the previous year, fiscal year, was really spent. They have oversight function. They have committees that are started with oversight functions. I know under these 3 tiers of government, we are supposed to replicate, say, at the government at the head of society. Do you think these procedures has been reflected at the local government level?
Even with those procedures that you gave me now, the budgets are still padded.
At the local government level?
And
Let's focus on the local government level.
So it is very sad to underestimate or undermine the capacity of local government staff. I have seen some of them. Brilliant lawyers, brilliant engineers, brilliant administrators in the local government. They may not be used, they may be underutilized, or they may be not be properly encouraged, but they have them in the local government. We should not look down on the local government staff. They have professionals. Now, if you say, okay, you want to follow the same process, the same due process in looking at their budgets, they can come to the town hall and explain to the people who ask them questions. If that's the accountability or probity that you want, openness, they will come to the town hall meeting and present their budget, which will be defended, and people will ask questions. That of the federal something is closed, more or less closed door. It's it's an arrangement. I'm telling you, it's an arrangement. At the end of the day, somebody goes behind and add additional budgets to our national budget.
But that's within the confines
integrity.
It
lacks integrity.
No, that's within the confines of the provisions of the law.
It lacks integrity.
Okay, so
for you to say that let us give them the chance to govern.
Okay.
They have been elected.
All right.
And let me say this, in governance now, there's a balance that is going on, and it's very, very nauseating. You say a unanimous candidate. Is that acceptable in democracy? You're supposed to vote for a candidate, and the highest votes gets the whatever they want. But now you say you want unanimous candidate. In other words, compromise. That is not democracy. And it's popular in the Southwest. I think it's going to the Southeast too now. It's a unanimous candidate. It's a form of imposition of candidates, and that is what is ruining the integrity of local government councils.
Thank you very much.
Where the leaders from Abuja just comes in, he doesn't live in the local government area, maybe he lives in a banana area, and he decides that, yes, Lukman is my next chairman. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Okay. So
what do you call that, Fred? Is it manipulation?
Well, I don't want to jump into that. I think Lukman is watching. All right. So now, whilst you're trying to address this issue, if the budget process, the way how rigorous it is at the National Assembly reflects in the local government councillors and their sitting, I also need you to add this. If local government have effectively deployed the instrument of tax collection from the markets, the butcheries, the people who sell stuff in the market, if they're able to collect it, account for it, and redeploy it for community needs or for community environment face uplift?
Well, for accountability, I would not say, because I'm not in the local government. But I remember one time when I was driving towards the airport, I was trying to get a direction, and I moved from to the service lane. I moved to the service lane, and one station wagon crossed me, and they said they were a task force. I didn't see any name. They said they belonged to a particular local government, and he even showed me his ID card at a point. And we started conversing when he heard I was a journalist, and he said they took me to their local government secretariat, and they said their local government task force, and they are collecting. They said
You flouted the traffic.
Yes, because
traffic rules.
Yeah, they said they were telling me that I stopped at a particular place, and I explained to them I was actually asking for direction, and they told me I should move to the service lane, and they said no, I was not supposed to move to the service lane. I was just supposed to go further and all that. So that was when I knew, or that was when I heard that okay, local governments do collect some of these levies or fines and all that, but as to where it goes. That's because I actually met someone else who said he was from Alausa, also among the task force team there. So I got confused that, is it Alausa or is it this local government? I don't want to mention the name. Is it who is actually in charge of collecting these fines and levies? I think that's another thing that, but if, like Baba said, if we have town hall meetings, all this can be clarified, whereby I see my councillor, I see my chairman, I can ask him direct questions that, chairman, okay, what is this for? What is this for? And if he answers me correctly, I have it at the back of my mind that, okay, yes, he's doing something, he's actually working. And if not, then we know what to do. Okay,
so lastly, as we round up on this conversation, Chooks, I was talking about revenue collection by local government officials and how if they've been able to deploy these revenues in the right direction.
Okay. For we here, let's speak for Lagos, because this is where we reside for a while. Lagos generates the highest IGR. And there is no way Lagos would do it without the help of local government. They are the foot soldiers on ground. So there should and there will be definitely a transition between what is collected and where it gets to. Now, you also note that for local governments in Lagos, a lot of them embark on projects, local government projects, and they do it well. mainly because of the amount of money they also collect. Now, will there be some gaps or some holes? Definitely. But now, how can they make it better, whereby the people that live in that same area don't see it as a burden? This is what we should be looking at. Okay. Because I should be able to just say, okay, this month or this year or this day, I'm paying my tax happily, I want to do it. Knowing fully well that my councilmen will use the money I've paid to do the right thing. We should not put our searchlight on local government with ulterior motive.
Okay.
This is where the issue is. If I want to find fault from Olumide, I will find the fault, irrespective of what he does. Because my eye and my focus is on finding a fault. But if I want to see Olumide perform, he's performing on every single day, on every indices.
Okay.
So let's push local governments to perform and provide service to the people, because they are the ones directly interacting, living, and servicing the community. Right. So let's push them to perform.
Great.
Yes, finally, I think the tax collection system in local government is very primitive.
Okay.
You can't do that in this age where somebody just stops you. Even right now in the market, there are some gentlemen or some touts that will be pursuing people carrying load from the market, and they want you to pay tax on that. It's as primitive as that. So there needs to be improvement. But that is not to look down the local government as a tier of government. Don't forget that in those days, it was the council that were setting sanitary inspectors. It was the council, Lagos City Council, that was sending sanitary inspectors all over the place, inspecting. We had local government police. So the local government should not be looked down upon. Okay. The only thing is that we have abandoned the local government system. It's as simple as that. And we should go back
to get it right.
Apologize to the system and make reparations.
Okay. Thank you very much.
In closing, I would also say that the presidency and, of course, the Federal Ministry of Finance should issue a binding directive. The court has already, and Central Bank of Nigeria is the highest financial institution. Accounts have already been
opened for the individual local government.
So why not just
send the money?
Send the money. I mean, let's have public hearings, or better still, withhold state funds if they flout.
Okay.
I think maybe that way we would get a way forward.
Okay. So to local government officers or local government politically elected persons and those who are appointed and those who work at the Local Government Service Commission, you've been looked upon or undermined, as Bayo Laoye has said, about your capacity to be able to deliver effective and productive governance at the head of society. Well, the president is there putting things in order to make sure that your allocations get directly to you. Nigerians have been clamoring for that. And when that actually happens, please do not let down the effort of the president and Nigerians who fought this battle to make sure that these funds get to you. Because if you do, it will be an indictment on your institution. That will be the rounding point for that conversation. Now let's move to our next conversation. It's about online fraud as SEC warns of rising digital investment scams in Nigeria. The Securities and Exchange Commission has raised alarm over growing threat of fraud in Nigeria's digital and virtual asset space. Speaking in Abuja during the African Union Anti-Corruption Day by SEC Director General Emomotimi Agama, he said the rise in online investment scams is eroding investor trust and damaging Nigeria's capital market. He noted that many of these scams involved cryptocurrencies and digital tokens and urged the public to be cautious. Agama said that the newly passed Investment and Securities Act 2025 now requires all virtual asset platforms, including exchanges, brokers, and custodians, to register with the SEC and meet strict rules on governance and cybersecurity. Also speaking at the event, EFCC Chairman Ola Olukoyede described virtual asset scams as a fast-growing threat to Nigeria's economic stability. Yes, I remember when Imamotimi Agama, he came out and spoke extensively about the Securities and Exchange Commission and how it is backing the virtual asset and the way it can be used to transact business in the market. Chooks, your take?
Yes, we as a people, we really need to tell ourselves some basic truth and define where we want to go. The world is getting digitalized. By the day we've gone beyond computerization, now we are in the age of AI, and it's going to go faster. Some decades ago, people were queuing in banks. Now that is past. I can't remember the last time I went to a bank. I can't remember the last time I saw a banking hall. Now we transact with our phones. That is also going to go. Security has to be the next thing that we all need to worry about, and that is our digital footprint. The days of physical ID cards and identity is gone. This is what we need to understand. And as a nation, we need to follow this trend. The next set of criminalization and criminal acts will be identity theft. We are facing it right now. It's getting to us now. So how do you really get to protect your identity? Real identity, not just online identity.
Okay.
Because once anybody can steal that, they can have access to every of your savings.
Yes.
Now let's get to where Mr. Adama was talking about. Now, once you hear scam, the first thing that comes to your mind is cryptocurrency.
Yes.
Cryptocurrency is not a scam. Let's get that straight. Now, people engage in scandalous and fraudulent activity using a whole lot of means, and cryptocurrency is one of them. But now they don't sell you stuff. They tell you to either invest, try to sell you a pyramid scheme, or start a bogus exchange. Now this is where we as a nation, we need to also open up our financial house and as a country make money. Every single exchange that is tradable, usable, applicable in Nigeria must register with the federal government, and they must pay tax to the federal government. We had that issue with Binance some years back. These are major money-making ventures. So why are we losing out? If we say we have a policy where Nigeria says, okay, good enough, you can trade cryptocurrencies, you can do all that, it's no longer is a law. It's no longer.
It's a law, yes. It's no longer.
It's no longer. There's no ban on it. Then we should follow it up with policies that will make the government know who is trading what, who is investing in what. That way, people will get scammed. Not like what we're seeing right now. Also, mind you, if banks can go down, exchanges can go down. I don't know if you understand. These are human beings. So if government is in the know, if government is at the helm of affairs, having full open disclosure on exchanges, not decentralized exchanges, centralized exchanges,
okay,
we will have less of these issues. Nobody will open something in Ibadan and defraud people. Nobody will open something in Lagos and defraud people.
The cryptocurrencies are decentralized exchange platforms.
There are decentralized exchange platforms don't hold. Centralized exchange platforms hold.
But how many Nigerians? Chooks, what you are saying now, how many Nigerians are aware of this?
That's where the education is.
Cryptocurrency issue has not been given proper public information, dissemination.
Okay, so Baba, we will tell
me in the media. I don't know what this your crypto is all about.
Come and register.
The CBN, the Security and Exchange Control, and the other financial institutions, the Financial Institution Training Center, all these institutions should do a lot more to educate the people, and that's where the language is coming again, educate the people on the benefits of the cryptocurrency. Jingles and what have you, public information, public dissemination of information. It's not enough. It's not enough.
Okay.
Now, for those that are investing in this particular sector, you should know what you're getting into. That's for one. But for government, I keep looking and praying for the day where our government will be on top of this particular sector. This is a gold mine. And other countries cannot be making money off Nigerians because we rank among the first 10 when it comes to this particular investment worldwide. Nigerians. Yet a lot of this profit is going to people and companies outside this country. Our country can also take part in this particular, open up, get them registered, and make money off this particular investment opportunity that is going around. The US is raking in. Their SEC has approved the Bitcoin, Ethereum exchanges and trading in their SECs. But we are not seeing that because we've not invested and we've not looked deep into it. These are things that can really curb those with fraudulent mindset in this particular space. And you can always catch them. Nothing is hidden in this space. Nothing is hidden.
But Chooks, the Securities and Exchange Commission about, if not 2 months ago or maybe 6 weeks, came out and approved cryptocurrency as one of the virtual assets that can serve as an exchange in the Securities and Exchange Commission and also in the market.
Yes,
and
definitely.
That it is well documented. So that in itself, it's a nod in its effective operation in the market, which can be used to transact.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, just like
so
the local government story.
What they are crying about, is that they are bringing more enlightenment to the use of the cryptocurrency because they felt some unscrupulous elements are using it as a means of siphoning fund. So in sounding this warning, it's like reading the Riot Act when the government, the federal and the president or the government of a state come out to read the Riot Act so that those who are involved in using this means to siphon funds or to constitute crime like scam or hide public funds will be on their toes because the eyes of the exchange and the security enforcement agencies are watching.
Okay, can I help you on that? For those that are watching and for those within the SEC and the federal government, come to Souq News. There are experts here who can consult for you. That I'll give you for free. Okay. Now, it's just like you go to the pump station and you want to buy gas, PMS, diesel. You say, I want to buy 1,000 naira. You're looking at the meter. Somebody is pushing it in. Just where you can see that meter and how much is sold is the same way it is with cryptocurrencies. Yes. It's just like a ledger. It's not. It is a ledger. So every single detailed transaction is there in the ledger. All that matters is how can you find it? But it's there. So if somebody moves 1 billion now, you can find it. You can see where it was moved. You can see where it's going. So this is why the government should get involved. Now, if I see and note the exchange where it moved, I might not know who owns it. But once I hold the exchange will provide
information.
Yes.
Okay. So that's where the government regulation.
This is where government need to come in and not just play the ostrich.
Great.
And that's what Yemi Kaduso and his people should be talking about. Educating the people. Chooks has done some practical illustrations, yes, which is convincing. But the CBN can go further by holding sessions with different sectors of the society and tell them the impact of this cryptocurrency. You have said that it's like a ledger. You have brought it down to the language that people will understand. But the so-called financial institutions are not doing that. And I wonder what they're doing.
Okay. Olumide, your take.
All right. So I'm looking at what gave rise to all these online scams. It's as a result of high unemployment. Young people, young graduates with no job, they want to make quick money. So, this is how these scammers, come in. Greed. They give you unrealistic figures, 50% profit. You smile and like, if I drop 5,000, I'll get 7,000 in a week or in 2 days' time. That's what they work on. Now, there's digital growth, but is there digital literacy? A lot of us have smartphones. A lot of these people have smartphones. But are they using that smartphone? It's supposed to make you smarter. It's supposed to make you more enlightened. So yes, the government, should educate. But what are you using that equipment for? Are you going online to check, to find out what is cryptocurrency, what does it do. Your phone is there, your smartphone is there, it gives you all the information. If you go on Google, thank Lord we have AI now. I mean, if you go on these AI platforms and type any question, it will break it down for you.
Okay.
So are we, yes, it's been said that Africans, we have a low we have a low, what do you call it? We don't have reading culture. So it also boils down to that.
Okay.
We have access to some of these tools, but are we using it the right way?
Okay.
Also, let's look at enforcement. This is not the first time we're having online scams. We've had MMM, we've had this, we've had that, and were they investigated? Yes, SEC came out and said, SEC rather, Securities Exchange Commission, said they will investigate this. I hope so. I hope we'll get to the bottom and find out who these people are. Because until we start to investigate and prosecute this, it will continue. Tomorrow, another Ponzi scheme will come. So it's not just educating, it's also enforcing.
All right. So finally, as we wrap up, Chooks, one of the reasons why we experienced the cryptocurrency market experienced the intervention of the government then by way of suspension was that something that had to do with traceability. I know you've alluded to that in answering the question, but people are still asking questions. Securities and Exchange Commission just said that it can be used to transact in the exchange. But traceability, because one of the cries of Olukoyede, the EFCC chairman, is that corrupt politicians fritter money away from wherever they are getting it from and trap it into a wallet. And from that wallet, it can start spending. Now, if it is trapped into a wallet, how can it be traced in the digital space when it is being spent?
Okay. We can't stop change.
Okay.
It's inevitable. Change must happen. And that is where we are right now. Your fiat is a matter of time to go extinct. We are trying our best to look for how to go cashless right now. It's the same thing. But right now, tokens and digitalized money is where we are at right now. It's going to go way beyond that. Payments right now in China is just by waving your hand. Just wave your hand. It's been captured already, and you make a payment. Just like we said, in a ledger form, if I move 2 naira from Binance to, let's say I move it to a wallet that is not any of this, it shows when it was moved. If we probe further, it can even show the region where it was moved. If we probe further, it can even show the IP for where it was moved. I don't know if you understand. So you can, this movement happened in Africa. This movement happened in Nigeria. What platform was it moved from? This is why we say we need that strict eagle eye regulation. Take, for example, in the US right now, right from those particular platforms, by the time you trade, your tax is calculated on those platforms. These are countries that have seen the future and they are taking advantage of it. Are we? For those particular platforms, as you register right now, they even ask you which region you are from to know how they calculate your tax on those particular platforms. So it is us that should do our own homework, not the thief. I'm going to use that word directly. We should have done our own homework to accommodate the thief so that by the time he's been trying to steal, he's caught.
Okay.
I'm not waiting for the thief to do the movement and now start looking for giving excuses for how to catch the thief. People are, is it not in this same Nigeria we saw somebody with millions of dollars in the wardrobe somewhere here on the island? So people with criminal minds will always be there. So let's not blame it on the technology.
Okay.
How do you make sure you arrest those kind of people?
Okay. Finally.
Enforcement. I think the EFCC should stop playing to the gallery all the time. Olukoyede came to a platform last week and was saying that the kind of the level of corruption in the NNPCL is huge. Is this that? Go ahead and do your work. The EFCC should intensify its enforcement strategy towards cryptocurrency.
Okay.
I don't think they are doing much. They are doing arrest and all that. But the fundamental, the basis, the foundation, who are the big shots sponsoring these boys? And what are their modus operandi? That's their work.
Great. Thank you very much. Now we go to our next story. However, before we do that, let's take a breather here. We'll be back in a moment. Do stay with us.
Take Nigeria because it's the mind that needs to first of all be rebranded.
He said he's going to be putting Nigerian labor, Nigeria content and materials first.
If you say Nigeria first and it is just us down here that, are pushing that agenda, it's going to be a big struggle.
Do you think Nigerian firms, Nigerian organizations should start looking at getting their staff involved in this market or buying to keep for their staff?
Within this side, let's also learn citizen diplomacy. See something. This is Souq Business Landscape.
Cocoa has more than tripled in costs over the past year and is up 129% this year.
Cocoa remains a significant cash crop in Nigeria, predominantly produced by small-scale farmers in the country's southwest region. Historically, cocoa served as a major source of foreign earnings until the 1970s, when the discovery of petroleum shifted the focus away from agriculture. Despite various challenges from its introduction in 1807 to the present, efforts by successive governments and the resilience of cocoa farmers have sustained its production. To better optimize productivity and ensure fair prices for farmers and high economic returns for the government, the Cocoa Marketing Board, CMB, was established in 1947. However, the goal was not totally achieved as pricing policy weren't favorable, discouraging farmers from producing export crops, and that eventually led to the board's abolition in 1986. These resulted in reduced yields and lower quality cocoa beans. Meanwhile, the millennium era witnessed a shift in farmers' focus towards more economically viable crops like oil palm due to the high cost and intensive care required for cocoa production. Cocoa production faces several obstacles, including limited access to fertilizers, unfavorable climate conditions, pest infestation, poor infrastructure, and land shortages. Also, herders' attacks on farmers have deterred farmers from expanding their farmlands. According to research, despite challenges, cocoa production has empowered many farmers and more stakeholders in the value chain, improving their living standards, enabling them to provide education for their children, cover medical expenses, and build better homes. Concerning the future of cocoa farming in Nigeria, there are mixed opinions among farmers. Some are hopeful that government's reinvestment in addressing current challenges can revive the sector's past success. Others are pessimistic due to the persistent issues and the trend of farmers shifting to other crops. Regardless, hope remains for the sector. Solutions like improving land-labor relations, infrastructure, and financial support could revitalize cocoa production, reduce out migration, stabilize prices, and enhance value chain development, ultimately securing a brighter future for Nigerian cocoa farming and its stakeholders. Ojai Michael, reporting for Souq News.
My name is Shino Ogbadegeshi. I'm the CEO of GOVS Micro Insurance. Continue to watch Souq News.
Adenike Adeyemi, Executive Director of Faith Foundation. Keep watching Souq News.
My name is Shepherd Michael Adewale Onofuye. I enjoy you all to always watch Souq News TV.
Hey everyone, Majuli Obaje here representing Gigi. Keep watching Souq News, okay? Stay updated with Souq News.
My name is Aton Kene. I am the head of MSME Banking. Please keep watching Souq News and stay glued to Souq News.
I recommend that more and more people should watch Souq News because they deal with business news.
Hi, my name is Amaka Wokolo. I am the director of the Faith Institute at Faith Foundation. Keep watching Souq News.
Take Nigeria because it's the mind that needs to first of all be rebranded.
Idris said he's going to be putting Nigerian labor, Nigeria content and materials first.
If you say Nigeria first and it is just us down here that, you know, are pushing that agenda, it's going to be a big struggle.
Do you think Nigerian firms, Nigerian organizations should start looking at getting their staff involved in this market or buying to keep for their staff? Within this side, let's also learn citizen diplomacy. See something. This is Souq Business Landscape.
Welcome back. Many thanks for joining us on the program. If you just joined us, it's Souq Business Landscape, and we are reaching you live from the city of Lagos. Now we continue with our third story. Diplomatic policy. Nigeria rejects demand to accept Venezuelans. Nigeria's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Yusuf Tuga, says the country will not accept deported Venezuelans and their prisoners from the United States, stressing that the demand is unfair and unrealistic. Speaking during a television interview in one of the media houses, he said the United States is pressuring African nations to receive Venezuelans, including those jailed in America, but insisted that Nigeria cannot take them in additional foreign prisoners amid its own internal challenges. Yusuf Tuga also addressed recent United States sanctions, including a 10% tariff on Nigerian exports and tighter visa rules. They downplayed the speculations linking the tariffs to President Bola Tinubu's attendance at the BRICS summit, stating that issues are unrelated. The minister described the new visa restrictions as unjustified, saying Nigeria continues to offer American travelers longer visa durations and easier electronic application processes, contrary to the United States' claim of reciprocity. Chooks, Venezuelan prisoners currently in prison in the United States. Rwanda was approached, rather, right? Is it by the United Kingdom?
And they agreed.
And they agreed.
And go to prison.
Yusuf Tuga is telling us here that the recent slamming of tariff against Nigeria by the United States president is not related to our relationship with BRICS nations. Is because we have refused to accept Venezuelan prisoners from jails in the United States. Geopolitics, it also has economic undertones. In fact, it is driven by economy. What's your take on this?
Well, first of all, I will say this is an insult in capital letters. When you sell yourself very low and cheap, you'll be used as rag. And that is where this is stemming from. Will the U.S. go and meet China and tell China to accept?
Or Russia?
Not even prisoners, to accept deportees.
But wait, maybe
it
China,
won't even come
maybe
as
because China is already 1.4 billion people, or maybe...
Just why not just do the same, not even the act itself? But now you are telling Nigeria to accept people you are deporting from your country. So why didn't you tell them, why didn't you tell their own government to accept their people?
The Venezuelan government?
Yes, why didn't you tell the Venezuelan government to accept their people? Because they said no.
Oh.
Of course it is said no. Then is
So
Nigeria
the criminals do with them whatever you
It's
please.
Nigeria that should accept people you're deporting and accept prisoners, knowing fully well that there's a whole lot of gang-related issues when it comes to that particular country for those in the prison system. This is an insult. And I'm looking forward to see how our own diplomatic mission is going to reply this, apart from what they are saying in the
What Yusuf Tugas replied?
He just said, no, we are not taking it. We should reply beyond, no, we are not taking it.
I think so.
We should reply beyond, no, we are not taking it.
We should,
this should not.
We should issue a strongly worded reply from the federal government, from the seat of the presidency. Because I think this is derogatory.
Just a moment, Chooks.
It is derogatory and uncalled for. Despite the fact that our prisons are congested, that we cannot take it, we are a sovereign state and we have our own peculiar problems. And for one politician in America to determine the kind of people we should take in, our immigration laws are there, is derogatory. And Nigeria has to say it in the, Nigeria has to put his foot down and give a response that is adequately reflection, adequately reflects our thinking as a sovereign state and as a leader in Africa.
Okay, thank you very much. Olumide, before I come to you, Bayolaoye says derogatory. You said it's an insult.
Definitely.
But when it comes to how the way he's deploying soft power to touch you and the nerve, touch Nigeria and the nerve when it comes to economy and export of our products, most especially crude oil to the United States and other exports. 10% has come on it. So likely we are heading towards 25-30% of tariffs from our products going to the United States. What about that?
Well, now, see where we keep missing it. We are not exporting finished product, high volume of finished product to the States. The major thing we are exporting to them is crude and some other solid minerals. They are not going to put tariffs on that because they want it in the first place. So I don't. Let's always get this in perspective. That 10%, the minister or the man in the news said the 10% was not because of BRICS.
Yeah.
100% because of BRICS. Because Trump himself said it.
Yeah.
For those BRICS nations and
their
those that were
supporters.
heading for those BRICS nations,
supporters.
he was going to drop a tariff on it, and he said 10%. So it's because of BRICS. Let's not wish that away. But that should not be why we should be scared to align with who we want to align with. We are a sovereign state. So we go to where our bread is buttered, or where we want our bread to be buttered, or where will favor us in doing business. Now, the geopolitical landscape is shifting, is realigning. So Trump, normally, he's doing the right thing for his own people. But we should also, on this side, do what is best of our own interest and not depend on what they are saying to align where we want to align. No. So we shouldn't be scared of that.
Okay.
If they don't want to take our oil, good and fine, then we should get serious and start refining and selling finished product.
Great. So, okay, so now let me come to Olumide. Olumide, beyond geopolitics, we are talking about our nation's economy. And if there's going to be 10% on it, that means we are going to be looking at what we're exporting to the United States, 10% on it. And in that specific case, if we refuse and we felt it's going to be too much burden, that means our pressure, foreign exchange, the pressure on the naira is not going to abate, it's going to increase. Now it is 1,500 or 1,550 naira to the dollar. Is there a possibility of it to run into 1,600, 700 thereabout?
First of all, what are we exporting to the United States? Oil, right?
Mm-hmm.
India wants our oil. In fact, they are one of the biggest buyers of our oil now. So if they don't want it, if we feel 10% is too much, let's give India our oil. Let's look for other people who are readily available to take what we have.
India also buy from the United States.
Yes, they do. But they're also buying from us. In fact, they're our biggest buyer right now. They're our biggest customer. I think our people say familiarity breeds sea finish.
Okay. So Nigerian balance.
Yes. So I think what is going on with us and United States is sea finish. I'm sure you saw that. We all saw that video of Trump asking a Liberian president where he learned to speak English. And English is the official language. I mean, you can imagine. So it's more than derogatory what the United States is churning out to Africans. Because if you are looking at a particular president and asking him where he learned English, and you are telling us that you want to dump what you have spat out of your mouth to Africa, I mean. But I like Tuga's stance. We are gradually asserting ourselves in geopolitics. We are taking a stand. Yes, it might bring some repercussions, but yes, we're a sovereign country. That's all about being able to say
yes.
no.
And we have
let's face the consequences.
I'm a Yoruba man, and we have a proverb: because you want to eat meat, you should not prostrate for the cow. So because we want business, we want prosperity, we should listen to or fear whatever Trump says, or obey all the directives from Trump or cow at whatever Trump threatens us with. I think we should take the bull by the horn and diversify. We are making a headway now in agriculture, in tourism, in even our local products. Cocoa, cotton, they are getting response from the world. They are getting global attention. Once we diversify our economy away from oil, we'll get there. We should not swallow hook, line, and sinker everything that America throws at us. No, I don't think we should take whatever.
Chooks, our major foreign exchange earner is crude oil.
Yes.
And this is what we ship to the United States. We also ship to India.
Okay.
And India is also buying from the United States. So if we cut off the United States, we have to discover another market that is willing to buy our crude in the volume for which United States, just a moment, with the volume for which United States has been buying, which puts us on the advantage when it comes to our foreign exchange. At the moment, do you think we have such alliances? Because if it can't go that way, and we see that even if we discover a new buyer and it's a strong ally of the United States,
do we? That's the question we need to ask ourselves.
That's question.
Now, see, over time, this cheap and easy money has made us to stop thinking. You drill crude, thanks to companies that were even coming from the United States and the West. You send to them based on the number they tell you they drilled in the first place, and they pay you royalty. We should start thinking. This should really get us thinking. And everybody within that sector should get up and work. If we are sending or exporting 1 million barrels per day to the US, and they say we are adding 10%, if they do, which I don't think they will, put 10% tariff on it, mind you, and we will make that same effects that we are looking for times 2 of it. But we don't want to do that work. So we should get our hands dirty.
Now that you
that
brought
way,
Dangote,
they will on their own know that, okay, no, this is a no-go area.
now that you brought Dangote into the issue, do remember that the crude for Naira policy still governs when we are selling it to modular refineries and to Dangote. It doesn't mean we have made up for the forex, because if we are selling to foreigners, for which you can earn in dollars.
See, there is nothing.
Because if Dangote earns in dollars by selling to the United States of America, it doesn't come into the pocket of the Nigerian government. It comes into Dangote's pocket.
There is nothing that stops the government from going into an alliance if government refineries are not working and say, Dangote, we are giving you 100 barrels. Refine, we'll pay you, give us our product. Nothing stops those kind of ventures. After all, we've been doing joint venture with Mobil, with Texaco, with every one of them for God knows how long. So why can't we do the same thing with Nigerian companies? Refine, give us our product. We'll pay you either in cash or you take in product, and we'll go export what you've refined for us. That is done worldwide.
Okay. Finally, or let's say, Olumide, we still have foreign debt. Some of the foreign debt in this country that we settle them in crude. So if we are going to meet up with such obligations too, and we are losing a buyer, a big buyer of our product, that's also a big economic hole in our pocket.
Well, yes, we have.
We are not losing yet. And this is not the first time it's happening. So don't get scared.
Yes, we have our debt to worry about. But just like Chuk has rightly said, if we concentrate on just Africa alone, supplying Africa, I think we should be able to clear that alone. Because if we keep on looking at US and what we're going to get from US, we are not actually going to develop our own refineries. If we keep if we keep depending on exports, what about our own refineries? They are moribund. What are we doing towards that? Have we been able to even supply Nigerians with enough before we now think, okay, let's export? Shouldn't that even come first? Should we be thinking about all the dollars we're going to get if we export this and leave out? Just like you rightly said, Dangote is still important, which means he doesn't have enough.
All right. Thank you so much. So currently what we should be looking at is satisfying the local market and probably looking out for other markets, maybe within the continent of Africa and some other countries that are not in good terms with the United States of America for us to, replace what we are going to lose if Trump is going to make his 10% tariff, real in Nigeria. Maybe we should be paying more attention to gas since the whole of Europe seems to have their eyes on Nigeria. It's going to break once again. And when we come back, we'll jump into trade policy. And we are not leaving Donald Trump completely out of the picture yet, because now we're moving into Donald Trump and the rift that's currently boiling between Donald Trump, United States of America, and the biggest country in South America. Stay with us.
Take Nigeria because it's the mind that needs to first of all be rebranded.
Idris said he's going to be putting a Nigerian label, Nigeria content and materials first.
If you say Nigeria first and it is just us down here that, are pushing that agenda, it's going to be a big struggle.
Do you think Nigerian firms, Nigerian organizations should start looking at getting their staff involved in this market or buying to keep for their staff? Within this side, let's also learn citizen diplomacy. See something. This is Souq Business Landscape.
Hello Nigeria, hello Africa. Yeah, this is Sound Man. Keep watching Souq News.
My name is Babalola from Excel LED. Keep watching Souq News.
My name is Shepherd Michael Adewale Onofuye. I enjoy you all to always watch Souqnews TV.
Hi, I'm Tom Boggables, and please keep watching Souq News.
Wale Seriki, SLG Lagos Island East, Souq News. Keep out watching them and keep a lookout for them. They're up and coming, and we're proudly to be affiliated with them.
You alone where they make me go crazy. This your love in the cool of my brain. You're my medicine, I need you all day. Yo, it's Blackface Nigeria and you're watching Souqnews TV. Keep it locked on this dial, don't change it. You know what I say? Blackface Nigeria, love no bad.
Take Nigeria because it's the mind that needs to first of all be rebranded.
Idris said he's going to be putting a Nigerian label, Nigeria content and materials first.
If you say Nigeria first and it is just us down here that, are pushing that agenda, it's going to be a big struggle.
Do you think Nigerian firms, Nigerian organizations should start looking at getting their staff involved in this market or buying to keep for their staff? Within this side, let's also learn citizen diplomacy. See something. This is Souq Business Landscape.
Welcome back. Many thanks for joining us on the program, and off we go to our next story. Trade policy. Trump to impose 50% tariff on copper imports to the United States. The President, Donald Trump, has proposed 50% tariffs on copper imports. They are likely to include not just refined copper, but also semi-finished products such as wires, tubes, and plates used in power grids, defense, and data infrastructure. While the tariff details are still being finalized, industry insiders said that extending the levies to semi-products would significantly widen their impact across key sectors. Copper prices have already reacted, rising 1.3% in early Asia trading, signaling market concern over cost increases in industries dependent on the metal. The U.S. currently imports over 900,000 metric tons of refined copper and about 800,000 tons of semi-finished product annually. Domestic copper production is insufficient to meet demand, forcing reliance on foreign supplies. Trump's goal is to strengthen America's copper supply chain from mining to finished goods, citing national security concerns. The Copper Development Association has emphasized the strategic role of semi-products in military applications, arguing for protective measures. However, manufacturers warn that higher tariffs could backfire, raising production costs and disrupting vital supply chains before the United States has the infrastructure to meet internal demand. Now, please do not get this wrong. United States is also one of the big producers of copper. Brazil is also a big producer of copper. Mexico is not completely out of the framework. But why is Donald Trump imposing 50% on copper? What's the target? Maybe I should be asking Chooks that question.
You say it like Donald Trump's assistant. Right now, Donald Trump is that particular bully in the house. Where
I wouldn't want to call him a bully. I don't think he's a bully.
Every other classmate is waiting and say, okay, what's he going to do next? Now, before this election of his, he made it clear that he's going to come with a tariff war. And we are seeing it play out. He started it initially with China, but people would not want to hear it. He lost. Capital letters, he lost. They matched him force for force. And he knew very well that if it continued, it was going to tank his own economy because the stock markets were already feeling the pinch. Everything was going down. He had several meetings with OPEC via Saudi Arabia, and the good result he got from that particular meeting almost went haywire because of his tariff war with China, until everybody slowed down before oil was able to get to stabilize. Now we see what's happening in Iran. Just for the few days that that war lasted, the stock market went a bit down but stabilized, which means that Iran is not an issue, aside logistics and transportation. Now he's looking at copper. Who is he targeting? He's targeting his neighbors. Canada, Mexico, and the other countries, Brazil and co. Now, is Africa producing copper? We have a lot of mines here that can produce a lot, but we are not producing as much as we have. So we are not matching them ton for ton. Can we? Yes, we can. But Nigeria, for example, we have not invested in it. But we still have one of the best wires worldwide. Now, Trump is looking at it from the aspect that he needs local mines and local industries to grow. But as we speak right now, local consumption is way higher than what they are producing. So they have to import. Now, if you say you are cutting or putting tariff on the import, who is going to suffer at the end of the day? These are things you are not looking at. Because the price is going to go up. And the people that are going to take it at the end of the day will pay that particular tariff that you're putting on them. So maybe the producers will take some cut, but you also will also take some cut. If you put 1,000 naira on your jacket and say, if I bring it into Lagos, I'll pay 1,000 naira, no problem. I can take 30%. I'll put 70% on the final consumer, which is who? American companies. But is he seeing it that way? If he's stopping the import, in the short term, who is going to lose? The countries he's trying to put this tariff on, they also have some other things that are coming from the US. What if they start the tariff war again? So these are things that there are other diplomatic ways of sorting issues out. I'm not just slamming 50% tariff. That's way too much. Not even on finished product. On the raw copper itself. That's way, way too much.
Okay.
If I want to go back, please permit me to go back some few years when Bolaji Akinyemi was the External Affairs Minister of Nigeria, where he said that Africa is the centerpiece of Nigeria's foreign policy. I haven't heard that from this government. What is the centerpiece of our foreign policy? Because the foreign policy must align with your economic vision. If Africa is the centerpiece of our foreign policy, why don't we trade mostly with our African brothers? I think there's an agreement on that. There's an agreement. Yes,
free trade agreement.
Trade agreement where we can sell and buy, and we'll still maintain our sanity and our sovereignty. That's where I'm going.
Okay.
Personally, I don't like the attitude of Donald Trump. It's incompatible with a typical American president. He's very arrogant and haughty, and he likes to show aspirations for women, black women, and foreign visitors when they come to him. You saw what he did with
No, Mr. Bayalawi, can we?
Yeah, I'm linking it.
Okay.
I'm linking it. I'm linking it because we have a minister of trade, we have ministers, we have people in the cabinet who can pursue our economic vision. That's what I mean.
Okay.
Focusing on Africa as the centerpiece of our foreign policy. In other words, our focus should first and foremost be with our African brothers, instead of listening to whatever threat Trump issues.
Okay. Olumide, 50%. And the price of copper jumped up 1.3%.
Definitely.
In the market.
Definitely.
Okay.
So who pays? Who pays?
Chooks, I know I'm coming. You'll be thinking because the demand, currently the United States is producing about 800,000 metric tons, and what they have coming into the country alone, is far above that, and yet the local demands have not been met. This copper is also being used for producing defense.
Military hardware.
Yes. And so his imposition of the tariff on it could also be to limit the production of this defense technology in some other countries.
How? Okay, go ahead.
Yes, in some other countries. So now, whilst the Brazilian president, or analysts have it that the Brazilian president, Lula da Silva, is not a friend of Donald Trump, that the former president, Jair Bolsonaro, was a friend of Donald Trump, and Donald Trump was looking forward to see him re-elected, but Mr. Da Silva actually beat him out of it. So Trump is fighting the election of the current president. Just the way Yusuf Tuga said that, forget, it is not because of our alliance with the BRICS nation, that's why Donald Trump is bringing this 10%. It is because we refuse to accept the Venezuelan prisoners. That's how it's also coming. And his excuse was that Brazil has refused to uphold free and fair elections. They are, they are taxing American digital companies in Brazil, and so Trump had to fight back. Could this be in alignment with what we discussed earlier about Nigeria?
Well, talking about free and fair elections in Brazil, U.S. has also been accused of not having a free and fair election, and Russia has been, I don't want to use that word, but Russia has been connected instead of that other word to that. So that's that. I think Trump is just trying to, maybe boost domestic copper industry by, putting this 50% tax. Maybe that would create a healthy competition within the local copper manufacturers and all that, so it will help boost that. But then again, if you look at it, just like Chuk said, for those exporting it into the country, they would, of course,
they will gain because the price is up.
They would say, okay, fine. It's the consumer that would, or it's the buyer that will bear the brunt. I will bring it in. I will still bring it in, but if you guys have it in low supply, I would give you guys, and I would add more money to it. So it becomes scarce. If you put this 50%, it will create some sort of, let's say, short-term scarcity, thereby increasing the price, increasing the demand for it. And that is how these people would still make gains. But then again, Trump sometimes, he tries, I think he's fond of experimenting. He tries some things, then he draws back. Then he comes forward with another, with his actual game plan. So I'm looking at Trump as, let's see your card. Let's see the last card you're going to play.
Okay, in rounding up, Chooks, first of all, yes, Donald Trump came in, and for the short period of time he's been there, he's fought a tariff war. But we can't take it away from him that the American economy has received lots of money by reason of this tariff war that he has fought. 1. 2, because of the copper 50% increase, the price has skyrocketed, 1.3% increase. 3 is that most companies that are into the manufacturing of military equipment, defense equipment, and drone equipment, their stock in the market has run up. Chooks, what's your take on that?
Okay. Now, let me follow up with your last two statements. You said their economy has gone up. Yes.
As by way of the tariffs.
By way of the tariff, no.
Of course.
No.
Of course.
Now,
we've made trillions of dollars.
No. Now, let's break it down. Now, the American economy has gone up. If we follow their first Friday publications from their work payroll publications, yes, more jobs have been created, and aside the farm stuff. Now, is it because of the tariff war? No. Actually, if you follow the tariff, they've suffered. But now, how have they been able to reinvest and grow the economy more? Trump has been able to pull in more investment into the United States. He has made it cheaper for you to invest in the United States. He has made it cheaper for your company to survive in the United States, unlike what it used to be before. He has taken off a lot of taxes that were there before for people that are producing, and those that will be producing, and those that are investing. He literally brought in individuals that invested in billions in the United States. So that is what we will give to him, that yes, he did well in that. But is it the tariff war? No. The tariff war is really hitting them bad, because the same way you're putting tariff on goods coming in, other nations are also putting tariff on your goods coming in. So you have a whole lot of goods stock in the port on this side and on this side. So you have to agree, and okay, let's come in down. The typical example is what's happening between him and China and him and Europe. I know those ones will just bash together and take their own decisions. Okay. So all might seem rosy, but that tariff war right now is not working in anybody's favor. For Africa, this is where we always need to learn. Diplomacy is all about interest. Now, Trump is acting in the interest of his people, and he's doing it excellently well. Kudos to him. Now, the question now goes to us. Whose interest are we acting on? Are we just puppets in the hands of the West? Or are we still tied to those aprons and they flog us and we run?
Great.
We need to answer those questions.
And this is a good place for us to draw the curtain on today's episode of Souq Business Landscape. Thank you very much, Chooks, John Rogers Chooks, the veteran journalist Bayo Olaoye.
It's a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Knight Olumide Shokoya.
Pleasure.
Well, I am going to have them say their final goodbyes. For me, it's thank God it's Friday. I'm Oyinprie Krumale. Do well to follow us on all our social media platforms at Souqnews TV. And individually, you can follow me at Oyinprie8 on Instagram and Oyinprie5 on Twitter. Do have yourself a splendid weekend. Yes, Chooks.
Thank you very much for being there with us. Remember this, always try for this weekend, check up on your friends, check up on your family. You never know what the next person is passing through. And be kind. My name is Chooks, John Rogers Chooks. It's nice having you. Follow me on CGOVNOR, CGUVNOR on all platforms. We'll do this again next week. Be nice.
Okay, Olumide.
Well, the good book says nations will rise against nations, but like they also say, tough times don't last, only tough people do. I am Olumide Shokoya. Stay connected, stay informed. Have a lovely weekend.
Yes.
I've had a nice time talking with my brothers here. Thank God it's Friday. Have a nice weekend.
Great.
My name is Bayo Olaoye.
Bye for now.
Think like that, because it's the mind that needs to first of all be rebranded.
Said he's going to be putting Nigerian labor, Nigeria content and materials first.
It is say Nigeria first, and it is just us down here that are pushing that agenda. It's going to be a big struggle.
Do you think Nigerian firms, Nigerian organizations should start looking at getting their staff involved in this market or buying to keep for their staff. Within this side, let's also learn citizen diplomacy. See something. This is Souq Business Landscape.